Hello, my name is Sam and I'm here to walk you through the ITS Telecom Fax platform. Thanks for your interest in our fax solution. Before I get started, just wanted to let you guys know that I will be mainly focusing on the web portal today. We do offer a couple of different ways to send and receive faxes. We have an email to fax solution, which allows you to send and receive faxes directly via email. We have a print to fax driver, which allows you to send an outbound fax directly from an open document on your computer. We have fax bridges, which hook up directly to your fax machine and allow you to use your multifunctional printer device or fax machine as you currently do, but it would be hooked up into our fax solution. If any of these options are appealing to you, please reach out to your account manager. And they are more than happy to provide you with more information on any of these solutions. But for the main focus of this video, I will be demoing the web portal. So the URL to log in is fax.itstelecom.com, and it will bring you to the web page. It looks like this. You will be assigned a username and password, which is your email address, to sign in once you sign up for an account with us. Once I sign in, you will see a couple different things. So you'll see the fax number you're assigned up at the top right-hand side. This is the fax number that you'll receive inbound faxing on. And this is also the number that it will look like you're sending a fax out from when you send an outbound fax. To send an outbound fax in the system, I will simply type in the number I'm wanting to send my fax to. So I'm going to type in my number to just send a test fax to myself. I can add multiple numbers if I'm needing to send my fax to multiple recipients. You can send to up to 10 recipients inside the portal. And if you need to send to more than that at one time, please contact your account manager, and they're happy to go over different options for you to do that. You can also choose from a contacts book, and you can add in your frequently contacted contacts, basically. So if you have somebody that you're contacting over and over and over again via fax, add them as a contact so you don't have to remember their fax number each time. You can also add in a recipient's email address, and this will actually send them an email, just letting them know that they've received a new inbound fax from you, and to check their whatever solution they're using for inbound faxing to see that new inbound fax. We have cover pages that you can select. So the standard cover page is the default one in my account right now. You can create your own custom cover pages that are pertain to your account. So if you had things such as disclaimers you needed to put on, you had certain custom fields you wanted to be added, you can even add your logo. You can create that directly in this cover page tab here down at the bottom, and you can assign that across the account. So if you have multiple users, an admin user can do that for you, or you can create it at the user level and you would have access to that cover page. These three fields will pull into that cover page, so deliver to subject and notes. So I'm just going to type in test here. And then notes, I'm also going to type in test. We have a tagging functionality, and these tags are searchable in the history screen. So if you ever wanted to tag a fax, these are searchable, and it's very, very helpful if you ever needed to reference anything in the past. So let's say you were digging for a fax from a couple weeks ago, you can simply just search by the tag that you applied to it, and it would narrow your search significantly. So you're not having to dig and dig and dig for that old fax. And I can mark this as urgent if I'd like. The urgent token must be included in the cover letter. So if you have that included in your cover page, you can have that option selected. And then here at the bottom is where you add your attachment. So you can drag and drop your file or click and choose from a folder from your computer. We accept all the major file types. And in the case that there is one that we don't accept, there's a built-in file converter here that you can utilize to output in either PDF or TIFF format. And then once you're ready to send, either preview, you can schedule it to go out at a later day and time, or if I click send, this will go out in real time. So that fax I just sent is processing. If I click check status, this will bring me directly to my history screen. This history screen is where you will see all of the inbound and outbound faxes that are sent and received from your account. So as you can see, that fax I just sent is currently, it went out successfully. On the left-hand side here, where this checkbox is, excuse me, you will see the current status of that fax. So that shows in real time. So as you could see there, once that fax was successful, that green check came through. And then if for any reason your fax is unsuccessful, you'd see a red X. If I switch over to my inbound tab, Since I sent a fax to myself, you'll see that I have a new inbound fax. So if I wanted to view that fax, I'd click on these three dots and I can view and print it. So if I click on that tab, this will show up here. And you can see I put in the delivered to, which pulls into the to field. And then in the comments, it says test. If I wanted to, I could download this as a PDF, or I could print this directly from the screen here. If I click back into these three dots, there's a couple more options I wanted to go over. So you could download this as a PDF directly. If I click info, this shows me more information about my fax. So this is really helpful for outbound faxing. If you ever get a fax failure, you can diagnose why that fax failed by this fax result code and this fax result line. Since this one went through, it says okay. But if for any reason your fax was unsuccessful, it would show you why, and then you could troubleshoot it to see what you'd have to do next. You can also forward and resend your fax. So if you ever needed to resend a failed fax for outbound, or if you needed to forward on an inbound fax to somebody, click on this button and the forward screen will pop up here. Just type in that number you're wanting to send to, or you can choose from contacts and click forward and it will be resent for you. And then if I click on all, you can see all of the faxes that I have living inside of my, my account here. So you can see that outbound fax I sent and the inbound fax, and that outbound fax has that tag I applied to it here. If I click on this drop down on the top right, I have some filter options. So I can filter by date range, I can filter by status, I can filter by tags here. So if I click on that tag, it would filter all faxes by that have that tag applied to it. Or if I type in my numbers up at the top here, I can filter by numbers as well. Cover pages, so there are some that come system-wide. So the 4 up at the top here can be utilized by default. If the admin on the account ever creates a account-wide cover page, it'd show up here. And then here is my cover pages. So if I click create new, I can start from one of our templates here, or you can create it from scratch. And then the actual cover page editor, it's very similar to Microsoft Word. So it's very easy to follow. And like I said, you can pull in custom fields, you can pull in your logo, et cetera, et cetera. And here is the contact screen. I don't have any created, but if I'm wanting to, I have 2 different options. So I can import one from a CSV. So this would be what you would need to bulk import contacts. So it's just a CSV file with these the columns required here. Or if I go back, I can create them directly in the portal. So if I'm wanting to, I can fill out all this information. So I'll just name myself. And then I can enter in the fax number. It's not a valid fax number, so it's not going to work. And then I can add in my phone numbers as well. On the bottom here, you can have it visible to the account or editable across the account as well. And then once I click create, my list would start populating on the bottom there. And then if I click here, we have a couple different settings you can control as well. So you can control your password. If you ever needed to reset it, you would do that in here. You can set up 2-factor authentication as well, and it will show you exactly where you're logged into for security reasons. And then under fax, you can control your fax caller ID and your email notifications. So depending on what your email to fax notifications look like, on all outbound fax statuses, you can get notified on email. You can also change that so you'd only be notified on successful faxes or failure faxes or none. And then the same for inbound. So if you only wanted to be alerted for successful inbound faxes, have that feature, have that selection checked. Otherwise, if you're not wanting any of them to go to your inbox and you're only wanting to work out of the portal, you can click none. And that's pretty much it. If you guys wanted to learn anything more, if you want to learn more about pricing, or if you wanted to know about any of the other features, like I said, please contact your account manager. Thanks again for your interest in our faxing solution, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thanks so much.